Yo, what is up YouTube? My name is TZ and today I'm doing something really different. I'm gonna go through and analyze every single Skibidi Toilet episode from number 1 all the way to 79 in one video. Other channels have done small groups of episodes like analyzing 1 through 4 or 5 through 8, but nobody has put the whole thing together in order. So I'm gonna cover all the secrets, all the Easter eggs, all the characters, all the upgrades, all the fights, and whole story from start to finish. A lot of people call Skibidi Toilet brain rot. That's because they don't know the story behind the scenes. I bet this video will change your mind if you are one of them. This is gonna be a long one, so get comfortable and let's get into it. Episode 1 to 4. First time seeing the toilets and how it all started. Alright, so the series starts off pretty simple. We see this small G-man looking guy in a suit walking past us. And then we see a toilet with a head that's singing the Skibidi Dub 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 Yes Yes song. Now the head model is called Male 07 from the game Half-Life 2. So right away you can see the creator is using stuff from old games. Episode 2 shows us Gordon Freeman and G-Man dancing, and guess what? The blue t-shirt guy you see in the right side wall's picture is the creator of Skibidi Toilet, named Alexi. Then we see an elevator with 3 urinal in it. This is also a previous video preference. In the previous Male 07 video named Stuck in a Piss Mirror, there was a scene where Male 07 wanted to pee while stuck in an elevator. That's where the urinal comes from. 2 heads comes out of 2 side urinals. One of them is Male 07 and the other one is Male 09. The character you see in the middle urinal with green hair is not a girl, it's actually a man. That's who we later see in episode 4 sitting at the table on the right. In the next episode, we see G-Man running away from the toilets. Now this is actually pretty important to remember because it's probably hinting at the stuff that happens way later in the series. In episode 4, we can realize most of the Skibidi Toilets are human before. Someone is turning them into a living toilet. We also see G-Man sitting at the corner table. Probably that's how Bro turned into G-Man Toilet. At episode 5, we see Male 07 attached to a human body, pointing at these giant flying toilets, and it looks like some kind of army is getting ready to fight. Episode 5, the Flying Toilet Fleet. Episode 5 introduces us to a massive flying Skibidi Toilet, and you can tell right away this one is built differently from the others. The cistern is more narrow than usual and there is a flush button positioned at the bottom. The head belongs to the Male 09 model, and the same one we spotted back in episode 3. This exact toilet makes a second appearance all the way in episode 13. Except by then, it's been fitted with laser eyes. 2 large cameramen eventually flush it, and after that we never see another toilet of this specific design again. What's strange is how this toilet was flying without any visible jetpack, helicopter attachment or propulsion system, while every other flying toilet in the series needed some kind of equipment to stay airborne. At the start of the episode, we see regular people standing around similar to episode 3, but these are completely different individuals. It seems like everyone who appeared in episode 3 eventually got turned into toilets inside that restaurant. Pay attention to the Pontiac automobile. The license plate reads OCD, which could be a reference to obsessive compulsive disorder. Interestingly, Pontiac is a company who stopped manufacturing cars back in 2009 when they went bankrupt. Military vehicles are rolling in, tank driving towards the Skibidi Toilets and helicopters flying nearby. This shows that humans are actively trying to fight back and destroy the Skibidi Toilets. Look closely at the marking on the tank. Usually that symbol is a chevron indicating military rank, but there might be more to it. The creator of the fuck boom is Russian. and the Russian military equipment is current conflicts uses Z and V marking. This could be a reference to real-world events. Below the flying toilets, we see the familiar dancing G-Man and Gordon Freeman from the earlier episodes. The other flying Skibidi toilets have the standard toilet shape. Watch their mouths. Tiny flying Skibidi creatures are coming out of them. The same technology appears in episode 13 when the Skibidi scientist releases a parasite from his mouth. A lot of these toilets have red eyes. The meaning isn't fully clear, but it might indicate rage. We saw the same red eyes on the priest Skibidi when it was eating the cameraman. In episode 51, a Skibidi plane with red eyes appeared and it was extremely durable and powerful. In the distance, there is a sign that reads AP. Though the significance of that isn't obvious, the larger toilets have a grey component on them that smaller toilets lack. We haven't officially met the cameraman yet in this episode, but we are already seeing through their perspective. Notice how the camera image is zoomed in this time, whereas in all the previous episodes, the camera stayed completely static. This suggests we might have been watching from a regular person's point of view before, or at least from a different type of observer. Episode 6, the dancing and the references. Episode 6 is basically a direct reference to a similar scene from the multiverse of Bedbugs video. The same character in the blue shirt appears right at the beginning. There is a framed picture of the Malo 7 toilet from the very first episode, almost like he's being treated as the idol or figure of worship by other toilets. Human G-Man is present here too. There is a dancing Spider-Man, Gordon Freeman doing his thing on the left as usual. But what really catches attention is Malo 7 and Malo 9 dancing together in the exact same clothes they wore in the multiverse of Bedbugs video. There are Skibidi toilets all around them, which confirms we're inside a Skibidi universe. But these two characters aren't in toilet form themselves, meaning they didn't get transformed. They arrive in this world separately. There is a major theory about this that we'll get into later. Before the Skibidi part of the song kicks in, you can hear a remix of Lady Gaga's Bloody Mary. Those who don't recognize it, this is a reference to Wednesday series. The main character danced to this exact remix at the party, and that clip went massively viral. There is a bell toilet that looks like it came straight from episode 5. The Skibidi woman also makes an appearance here. These female Skibidi characters show up again in episode 7, but after that they disappear from the series entirely. Overall, this episode doesn't push the plot forward much. Episode 7, we are the cameraman. Episode 7 is where we learn something game-changing. For the first time, we understand that we are a cameraman. G-Man is no longer standing next to Gordon Freeman in this episode. Instead, another Half-Life character, Barney Calhoun, has taken his place. And this is also the episode where G-Man Toilet makes his first appearance. Let's break everything down step by step. The cameraman walks up and flushes a Skibidi toilet without hesitation. This signals that all the agents have received orders to start destroying toilets at this exact point in time. Before this moment, they were only observing. But now the war has officially started. Right as the flush happens, the dancing characters in the background vanish. The toilet is positioned in the street near a light pole with toilet paper hanging beside it. The surroundings are completely empty, nothing but grass stretching to the horizon. The map is being used here is called RP Downpour Clear, which you can actually explore yourself in garage mode. Skibidi toilet begin appearing on the horizon, but there is no visible source they're coming from. Then an explosion rocks the scene, and the massive G toilet is suddenly standing right in front of us. Where did he come from? There are two main possibilities. The first theory is that he was teleported. We can see the black smoke, which is associated with teleportation in this universe. Maybe he was dropped from above by one of the flying Skibidi from episode 5. The second theory is that he was enlarged right at this location. What if the Skibidi scientist was conducting experiments inside that very building, and he managed to massively increase the size of a regular toilet? The growth would have been so extreme that the building was destroyed in the process. At this point, G-Toilet either doesn't have laser eyes yet, or he's choosing not to use them. Take note of the toilet's shape. It has a narrow cistern. In episode 9, we see a monument with golden toilet on top and an image of male 07 from episode 1. But the actual toilet structure matches G-Man's narrow cistern design. G-Man will eventually get upgraded and take over the toilet from destroyed flying Skibidi in episode 13. Right behind G-Man, the male 09 toilet appears. It's almost like the series is hinting that Male 07 and Male 09 are the ones controlling everything that's unfolding. It's unclear why the fuckboom stopped referencing these characters in the newer episodes. Maybe he didn't like where the theory was going, or maybe nobody was noticing the face model on the toilet. Episode 8. The war goes full scale. Episode 8 wraps up the second season of Skibidi Toilet. Only the first 2 seasons had 4 episodes each. Every season after that would be limited to 3 episodes. This is the first time we witnessed the war unfolding on a large scale. A squad of cameramen matches out to face a squad of Skibidi Toilets. Regular humans are still standing around in the background, looking confused about what's happening. We do see humans a few more times in later episodes, but eventually they vanish completely. The most likely explanation is that the Skibidi virus eventually infected the entire human population and turned them all into toilets. Almost all of the cameramen in this episode have white hands. In the newer episodes, they are always wearing gloves. This suggests the cameramen are actually robots designed to look human. So what we're seeing isn't skin, it's some kind of fabric or synthetic material meant to resemble skin. Behind the cameraman, there are camera vans that are probably transporting large number of agents. In the background, human G-Man is visible again, but something's off about him. His head looks too big. The G-Man likely has multiple clones. One of them became the Skibidi Toilet, and this particular one might be a doll or some other kind of replica. Many of the cameramen in the squad have black cameras on their heads. This has nothing to do with any kind of classification based on appearance. All the arms are white. The black cameras might indicate that these particular fighters have more advanced training. This idea mainly comes from the plunger cameraman, who also has a black camera. In the new episodes, cameramen with black cameras have become much rarer. The largest toilet among the Skibidi Toilet is once again Male 09. This keeps reinforcing that this specific character has some kind of a special role or importance in the hierarchy. From behind, we hear 3 loud bangs, followed by the Male 07 toilet approaching. It's unclear where he is a unique individual or if there are multiple copies of him like there of Male 09. He takes out the cameraman surprisingly easily. Just a single headbutt is enough to destroy them. This is probably the original Male 07 from episode 1. The one that the other toilets seem to worship. He likely possesses some kind of enhanced abilities, which is why he can dispatch cameramen with such minimal effort. This is the last episode where we see the gray components on the toilet. Since we have now seen the original Male 07 and Male 9 in this universe, they probably didn't get turned into Skibidi Toilets themselves. This supports the theory about a larger battle happening behind the scene. They may have arrived on this planet but decided not to fight directly. Instead, they're commanding armies. It's possible the cameraman originally belonged to the true Male 09. But then an evil version took control of him and now they fight on his side while the original Male 07 and Male 9 are the ones who created the Skibidi Toilets. This mystery still hasn't been solved in the newer episodes, but it remains one of the most intriguing threads in the entire series. Episode 9 to 11, the church, the priest, and the triple threat. Episode 9, a different kind of Skibidi. In the last episode of number 8, we saw the Skibidi Toilets and the cameraman go into full-scale war against each other. But episode 9 shows us something completely different. The Skibidi Toilets here are not aggressive at all. They don't attack the POV cameraman. On the top of that, when the cameraman flashes one of them, the other toilet turns and runs away instead of fighting back. This makes it seem more and more like there are actually different types of Skibidi Toilets. The one we see in the newer episodes are clearly trained soldiers, professionals built for combat. But alongside them, there might be peaceful ones who aren't fighters at all. Right in front of them stand a statue showing the Male 07 toilets from the very first episode. Now, if you don't know who Male 07 is, just know that this is the original toilet head model that started everything. On top of this statue sits a golden toilet. At first glance, you might think it belongs to the Skibidi from episode 1, but it doesn't match. Look closely at the cistern. It's extremely narrow. This narrow design has only been seen on 2 toilets so far, G-Man and the flying Skibidi from episode 5. This statue is most likely honoring G-Man because he functions more like a leader in these early episodes. Meanwhile, the toilet from the very first episode is the one being worshipped here. Whether he's actually still alive is unclear since we have never seen him get flushed. Something interesting about the background. There are regular people walking around and car driving by. It looks like a completely normal town, except now the Skibidi Toilets live here alongside the humans. Where all these people eventually disappear to is a big question. The obvious answer is that they all turned into Skibidi Toilets, but there might be more to it than that. Take a close look at the Skibidi Toilets themselves. They have shirt collars visible inside the toilet bowl. If these toilets were manufactured or built from scratch, nobody would design them with clothing inside. This detail further proves that these creatures were once human beings who were somehow transformed into toilets. The POV cameraman starts painting over a poster that shows Male 07 Skibidi. This action once again confirms that the war has officially broken out. The agents and the toilets are fighting for influence, possibly even competing to become the dominant race on the planet. In the distance, you can spot another poster that's been painted over in the same way. The cameraman who did that is now running away from the Skibidi police. Now the police Skibidis are worth paying attention to. They have grey toilets instead of white ones, which makes them more durable in combat. In the newer episodes, almost every Skibidi toilet has this grey design. This supports the theory that the white toilet Skibidi were basically civilian militia at the start of the war, and over time they were replaced by actual trained soldiers and the newer mutant variants. There is a cameraman in a blue suit and red shirt who should look familiar. He showed up in the very beginning in the series. Then again in episode 43 alongside the scientist and the plunger cameraman, and also in episode 61 where we see things from his point of view. His identity will probably be explored more as the series continues. This way he acts here is interesting. He doesn't seem scared at all. He's almost having fun running away from the Skibidi crowd, like he knows exactly what he's doing and is confident he can handle them. At one point, he even raises his hands as if surrendering, but we know he survives because he shows up again in episode 10. When the POV cameraman gets attacked by the police toilets, one of them doesn't sing the full Skibidi song. It just says, Skibidi in a short, clipped way. This is actually a noticeable change across the series. In the older videos, the toilets always sang the full song. In the new episodes, they mostly just repeat Skibidi, Skibidi, Skibidi. One theory is that singing represents their normal peaceful mode, but when they're attacking and being aggressive, they switch to the shorter, harsher version. In episode 18, we get to see the aftermath of this same location. The monument is knocked over and broken. The police toilets have been destroyed. A large cameraman is taking them out one by one. One of them destroyed agents laying in the group is probably the same cameraman we played as in episode 9. The aliens clearly has a much stronger presence there now. This is also the same location where the Titan makes his first appearance, which shows just how much of an advantage the aliens has gained. Episode 10, the Holy Skibidi Priest. Episode 10 brings us to a church. But instead of regular setting, there are toilets arranged everywhere. At first, no heads are visible in them, but then they suddenly appeared. How this works is unclear. Maybe they were created here, or maybe there's some kind of other explanation. The thing is, we have never seen a Skibidi hide its head inside a toilet and then pop it back out. When they get flushed, they're destroyed completely. There is also the question of how Skibidi toilets are actually made. Based on what we have seen, it seems like human beings are needed for the transformation. But in this church, all we see are the toilets themselves. Maybe they can be created directly from toilets using the song, or maybe this particular priest has a special ability that lets him do it. Speaking of the priest, he has the head of male 09, one of the main characters from the multiverse of Beatbox video. On the wall hangs a poster of original Skibidi Toilet from episode 1. When the cameraman first opens the door, there is a man in his underwear spinning around on the floor. This is probably the same person we saw in episode 4 sitting at the same table as G-Man. The implication is that he meant to be transformed into a Skibidi Toilet, just like any other person could be. The agent with the black camera survived the last episode and is now back to take down more Skibidi. Like mentioned before, he's clearly more experienced than the others. While all the regular cameramen ran off somewhere else, this guy climbed up onto a cistern and flushed the Skibidi priest directly. When the priest ate one of the agents, his eye turned red even though they were normal before. This could be a sign of rage or some kind of combat state. A few other Skibidi with red eyes have appeared throughout the series, but what exactly triggers this change isn't clear yet. The halo above the priest isn't real, it's physically attached to his head with visible supports. What's remarkable in that, even though there were plenty of Skibidi toilets present during this scene, none of them talked. They were just scared and ran away. In the new episodes, this behavior has completely disappeared. Now the toilets always stand up and fight, no matter what. There is also a Skibidi omen in episode 10, which further supports the idea that there is a large population of peaceful Skibidi toilets living somewhere, maybe in their own city or settlement. Now here is an important detail about the cameramen in this episode. All of them have human-looking skin in their neck and arms. In the new episodes, these body parts have been replaced with mechanical components. This has led to the belief that all the cameramen are robots and that in the past they used to live among humans while disguising themselves with skin-like material. Now they don't need to hide anymore, they show their true robotic appearance. But episode 62 changed this understanding. When a cameraman was broken apart, something more than just sparks come out. Some kind of fluid or organic material was visible. This suggests that the aliens wasn't just using robots. They were turning people into cyborgs, half human and half machine. This could explain where all the humans disappeared to. Both sides were converting them into soldiers. Eventually, when those human-based agents were destroyed, the aliens had to build fully robotic replacements, but some of the older agents might still be half-human, which is what episode 62 revealed. Episode 11, The Triple Toilets and New Technology. Episode 11 brings back the cameraman in the blue suit once again. Most of the regular agents still go without gloves. You can clearly see their bare hands. There's also a guy in a brown suit, the same one we saw way back in the first episode. This could easily be the same cameraman from episode 54 appearing here in the early days of the war. A cargo plane flies overhead, similar to the one we'll see later in episode 13 before it gets shot down by smaller Skibidi toilets. The technology on this plane is impressive. It flies smoothly without needed a rotor or jetpack. Unfortunately, inventions like this haven't been shown up in the newer episodes. Instead, the engineers now fly regular helicopters. The design of the aircraft is shaped like a camera, fitting with the cameraman aesthetic. At the very first of the episode, there is one of the Fuck Boom's signature Easter eggs, a flying skeleton. Then we get introduced to a new Skibidi invention, the Triple Toilet. This design is clever because it's extremely difficult to flush. With 3 heads facing different directions, it can defend itself from attacks coming from all the sides at once. Keep in mind that the Titans hasn't appeared yet at this point in this series. Regular cameraman would have almost no chance against a toilet this massive and well protected. The size of this thing is likely connected to the Skibidi scientist. In later episodes, we see that same scientist enlarge himself multiple times over. But here in episode 11, the technology was probably used to create both the G-Man toilet and this enormous triple toilet. As usual, there are tiny Half-Life characters running around in front of the toilet, the exact same guys from episode 7. This doesn't really add to the story, it's just another fun Easter egg from the creator. All of the middle toilets in the back row have male 09 heads. This consistent use of the male 07 and male 09 models across the early episodes shows that there is some kind of deeper connections between the Skibidi toilets and these two characters. The shape of the triple toilet is very similar to G-Man toilet's design, except the bottom is more curved. This suggests it's a more modern, sturdier toilet model, which is why it's only used for special Skibidi creations. The back head of the triple toilets even has horns, though they don't seem to give it any special abilities. In episode 19, this entire triple toilet gets destroyed by Titan cameraman, proving that the aliens eventually found an answer to these giant Skibidi threats. Episode 12 to 14, Laser Eyes, New Technology, and the Reactive Toilet. Episode 12, G-Man's first laser attack. In the early episodes, the Skibidi toilets appear to be relatively peaceful, but by this point, their squads are actively clashing with the aliens in battle. Episode 12 continues this trend. One strange detail right from the start is that the toilets actually explode when they fall from a height and hit the ground. This is unusual behavior that hasn't been explained. From the very first frames, a Skibidi toilet is floating in the air. Something similar happened back in episode 4, but there was a regular male 09 toilet. This time, the shape of the toilet is different. It's the rare narrow cistern design that only the flying Skibidi toilet from episode 5 has been with. It's most likely the same one, though it's hard to confirm with complete certainty. The lighting on this toilet is also noteworthy. It appears much lighter in color compared to the other Skibidi positioned on the bridge below. Down on the bridge, a painted poster of the original Skibidi from episode 1 is visible. Starting from episode 9, the cameraman begins painting over those posters and spraying their camera symbol on top as an act of claiming territory. In the distance, a building has the word "Big" displayed on it, which could be a subtle reference to the G-Man character. A cameraman is lying on the ground with his camera completely ripped off. There are no wires sticking out of the damaged area, unlike what we see in the newer episode where mechanical ports, and unlike what we see in the new episodes where mechanical parts and sparks are clearly visible, there's also no blood around the body. This suggests that at this stage in the series, the fog boom was portraying the agents as purely robotic. The physical design and damage depiction evolved as the series progressed. The Skibidi Toilets in this episode behave differently from what we are used to in the later seasons. They don't attack, they just stand there with their necks stretched out passively. This keeps reinforcing the idea that the Skibidi Toilets were originally peaceful beings who were not trained for combat. Something changed over the time that turned them into the aggressive fighters we see later. The POV cameraman in this episode is actually fighting opponents rather than just observing, which is not something we see very often in these early installments. An overturned cameraman cargo van lies in the background. These vans turned out to be pretty common in the early episodes, easy to miss if you are not looking out for them. The second toilet that attacks the POV cameraman has the male 07 head, but here's the important part: it has no special power whatsoever. A large cameraman destroys it just as easily as any normal toilet. This suggests that the Skibidi Toilets with males 07 and male 09 faces doesn't actually have any connection to the original characters from the multiverse of Beatbox. They're just using those head models. That's exactly the same as all the other Skibidi Toilets. If there truly is a version of the 7th and 9th character in this universe, they are definitely not a Skibidi Toilet themselves. This episode also marks the first time G-Man uses laser eyes. This is a significant moment because in his last appearance, he didn't demonstrate this ability at all. Then in episode 13, a flying Skibidi shows up and it also has lasers. It looks like Skibidi scientists discovered and developed this technology during the gap between these episodes. The best Skibidi Toilet are being selected for upgrade, getting fitted with the laser eyes as a new weapon. This implies that the Skibidi has a structured military system, soldiers built for war, supported by scientists and engineers who continuously work on improving them. On the ground below, broken toilets and destroyed cameramen are scattered everywhere. A serious battle clearly took place here. In the first very shots, a cameraman van can be seen approaching from behind. Now there's something important about the technology race between the two sides. Spider technology first appeared with the aliens. The Skibidi spider doesn't show up until episode 16. This means the Skibidi scientists didn't actually invent spider tech. They stole it from the agents and adapted it for their own use. The large cameraman points out the enemy's position and the camera spider begins shooting at them. The cameraman cargo plane from the episode 11 makes another appearance. At the time these episodes were originally released, the Skibidi hadn't yet started creating large and powerful mutants. The strongest toilet that existed were G-Man, the triple toilet, and this flying Skibidi. A large cameraman drops from an airplane directly onto the flying Skibidi's cistern, but one of the agents slips and falls during the maneuver. Smaller Skibidi creatures fly around, but they all get destroyed. Some of them crash directly into the agent's plane, setting it on fire. The rest of the small ones are shot down by the camera spider. Something worth noting: back in the episode 5, this flying toilet either didn't have laser eyes or simply wasn't using them. But now, both this toilet and G-Toilet have laser technology operational. The cargo plane eventually burns up completely and crashes. The camera spider gets taken out by the lasers from the flying Skibidi. But the flying Skibidi made a critical mistake. It didn't notice two large cameramen standing on its cistern. They flush it out and destroy it. Now pay attention to this toilet's design. G-Man currently has a slightly different toilet model, but in episode 47, after his upgrade, G-Man is seen using this exact toilet with that distinctive rim and stand at the bottom. The burning Skibidi that crashes into the POV cameraman at the end is the same one that got shot up by the camera spider earlier in this episode. Episode 13, the flying Skibidi falls. In episode 13, another battle between Skibidi and the aliens takes place. If you watch the footage in slow motion, you can see Skibidi head slowly growing inside a toilet and then emerging. This is most likely just a quirk of the editing rather than an intentional detail, since we never see this kind of gradual emergence in the newer videos. In those, the Skibidis are always shown with their heads already sticking out. Cargo vents appear among the agents once again. These vents show up far more often in the early episodes than you might expect. Before this, it was easy to think that only appeared in episode 3, but they are actually scattered throughout multiple early installments. The toilet in this episode also have those grey components at the bottom again, possibly leftover pie filling or structural pieces from when they were regular toilets. A Skibidi that looks like an old man, basically a grandpa Skibidi, makes an appearance here. He closely resembles an elderly man who was seen back in the restaurant from episode 4. The theory is that this old man was turned into a Skibidi toilet. Though he was much smaller back then, we already know from later episodes that Skibidi can be transferred from one toilet to another, and the Skibidi scientist has the technology to make them larger. So it's very possible this is the same old man from episode 4, just scaled up. But there's also a good chance this is simply a decoy or bait. The episode shows 5 large toilets that look intimidating at first glance. A whole squad of cameramen goes up against them, but then the reactive toilet suddenly appears and it destroys not only the cameraman but also his own fellow Skibidi. There are 2 main theories about this reactive toilet behavior. The first theory is that the reactive Skibidi is simply unhinged. It doesn't care who gets in its way and destroys absolutely everyone. But there's a problem with this theory because in episode 17, the same toilet is seen standing calmly and listening to the G-Man toilet alongside everyone else. That doesn't fit the mindlessly crazy explanation. The second theory makes more sense. This was all a deliberate trap. The Skibidi took regular smaller toilets and enlarged them to make them appear threatening. But looking closer, some of these enlarged toilets are actually women and an old man. They were never meant to be real soldiers. They were just bait, intentionally sacrificed. The alien squad took the bait and then the reactive toilet came in and destroyed them along with the decoy. Let's take a closer look at this reactive toilet. It has 6 powerful turbines attached to it. It's unclear whether it can actually fly or if it was launched from a rooftop, but its entire purpose seems to be destructive ramping. It smashes into the Titan's shield and gets destroyed in the process, basically turning itself into a projectile. Whether this is a bravery or just reckless programming is debatable. Either way, this toilet sacrificed itself to help G-Man's side win the battle. Now there is a black cameraman in a blue suit and pink shirt who should be very familiar by now. This is the same agent who has appeared repeatedly throughout the early episodes. The problem is that in this episode, he gets destroyed by the reactive Skibidi, but then in episode 43, he appears alive and well. He also believed to be the POV character in episode 61, where speakerman is introduced. How is this possible? There are 2 explanations. The first is that there are multiple agents who look identical to this one, and the one destroyed here was just one of the several copies. These duplicates are rarely seen on the show, which makes them easy to miss. The second possibility is that this agent was badly injured but not killed, and over time he was recovered and repaired. We saw something very similar happen with the plunger cameraman in episode 57. He was nearly destroyed with his lower body completely gone, but the scientists built him new arms and legs and restored him to the full function. The same recovery process could have happened with this blue-suited agent. After all, the reactive Skibidi didn't actually run him over. It just crashed into him and threw him aside. Episode 14, the rocket toilet sacrifice. Episode 14 continues the patterns of direct combat between the 2 sides. Watching carefully in slow motion reveals the Skibidi head emerging from within the toilet. So as mentioned before, this is likely just an editing artifact rather than a meaningful detail. The newer videos always show the heads already fully exposed. Cargo vents are present among the agents yet again. These vehicles appear with surprising regularity throughout the early episodes. The grey structure pieces of the bottom of the toilet are also visible here once more. The grey structural pieces at the bottom of the toilets are also visible here once more. The Grandpa Skibidi shows up in this episode. He doesn't seem to appear again after this point. His resemblance to the elderly man from the episode 4 restaurant is striking. Given what we know about how Skibidi can be moved between toilets and enlarged by the scientists, it's plausible that this is indeed the same individual, just transformed and scaled up. However, the alternative theory that these enlarged toilets are simply bait remains equally valid. The episode features 5 large toilets that appear threatening. A cameraman squad moves in to engage them. Then the reactive Skibidi toilet arrives and destroys allies and enemies alike. Breaking down the two theories about this behavior, the mindless distraction theory is contradicted by episode 17, where this same toilet stands peacefully among other Skibidi listening to G-Man. The trap theory holds up better. The Skibidi deliberately enlarge non-combatants, women and elderly men to create decoys that looks dangerous. The aliens squad attacked the decoys and the reactive toilets used the distraction to eliminate them. The reactive toilet's design features 6 powerful turbines. Whether it can achieve true fights or was simply launched like a missile is unclear. What is clear is its combat role. It's a living battering ram that destroys everything in its path. The Titan's shield stops it and the toilet is obliterated on impact. This is either incredible bravery or the programming of a weapon with no self-preservation instinct. The sacrifice helped G-Man's forces achieve victory. The black cameraman in the blue suit and pink shirt is destroyed in this episode by the reactive Skibidi, but his reappearance in episode 43 and likely role as the POV in episode 61 creates a continuity puzzle. Either multiple identical agents exist and one was lost here while others survived, or this agent survived his injuries and was eventually repaired, similar to how the plunger cameraman was rebuilt after 57. The reactive toilet didn't directly crush him, it collided and threw him aside, leaving room for survival.
Episodes 15 to 17, the CCTV and the space laser. We see a CCTV cameraman who's been turned into a CCTV toilet. He tries to sneak into the Skibidi hangar but gets caught pretty fast and killed. We do get a quick look at the spider Skibidi toilet though. At the end, 2 cameramen are being sneaky and tell us to be quiet. They have this weird device and one of them pushes a button with the danger sign on it. Then we see this orbital camera in the sky start shooting a beam down into a Skibidi meeting and everything explodes, but the toilets survive and use their laser eyes to destroy the orbital camera. Episode 17 seems like a normal fight episode at first, but by the end it becomes one of the most important episodes in the whole series. We finally see the Titan cameraman for the first time. He gives a thumbs up, which is now the second time we've seen this. This basically confirms that thumbs up is how they talk to each other. We see how insanely strong the Titan cameraman is when he fights the giant toilets and uses his laser eyes for the first time. Episodes 18 to 20, the Titan's first big fight. Episode 18 continues with the Titan cameraman still fighting. It's getting dark now, which means he's been going all day without stopping. He's probably getting tired. At his weakest moment, the Skibidi toilets bring in G-Man with his lasers and that rocket toilet that destroyed so many people. Together they attack the Titan cameraman and force him to escape using his rockets. After the Titan gets defeated, even though he was tired, the cameramen decide to interrogate a Skibidi toilet to learn about G-Man and how strong he really is, but the toilet won't talk, so they flush him. Right after that, G-Man shows up and kills everyone. In episode 20, both sides fight again and G-Man is leading the charge. The cameramen try to sneak up and flush him, but right when it looks like it's working, G-Man uses his powers to stop the flush halfway. This proves he's not easy to kill at all. Episodes 21 to 24 repairs and the speakerman arrives. Episode 21 begins with the Titan cameraman getting fixed up after the fight in episode 20. Scientist cameramen are working together to repair him. Some regular Skibidi toilets rush in, but as soon as they see the Titan, they turn around and run away. You can see they're actually scared of him. We also get another thumbs up from our character. Episode 24 starts a new season and it's a really important episode. This is when we meet the speakerman for the first time. They save the cameraman, which suggests they might team up. This changes everything going forward. Episodes 25 to 27. The Titan Speakerman episode 25 doesn't have much happening, but episode 26 is really important because we meet the Titan Speakerman for the first time. He looks incredibly powerful with a crazy blaster on his arms, just like the Titan cameraman. He has a core, but his is red instead of blue. Our character gives him a thumbs up, which means they are officially working together now. Episodes 28 to 30, the glitch toilet. In episode 29, the good guys are relaxing when this weird toilet comes near them. This is the glitch toilet and it has insane powers. It manages to take down every hero around it with unbelievable speed and strength. It's so fast that even when you slow down the video or freeze frames, you can barely see it move. I really hope it's the only one like this because it's incredibly powerful. At the end of this episode, for the first time, we see a version of our character lying dead on the ground. The Skibidi Toilets also kidnap a large cameraman and experiment on it. They put a parasite on it that controls its mind, making it kill our character. Episodes 31 to 35, the parasite problem. We see the Titan Speakerman get glitched after beating a bunch of toilets. He suddenly turns against his own people and starts killing other cameramen and speakermen. The whole city is in chaos while G-Man destroys everything with his laser eyes. There's also this funny meta moment where the creator shows G-Man actually destroying the YouTube headquarters, which is basically a joke about how many views the series is getting. The cameramen figure out they can remove the parasites and scientists cameramen start working on saving everyone, but G-Man and the infected Titan Speakerman attack and kill the scientists while they're trying to help. Episodes 36 to 38, healing and G-Man shows up. In episode 37, our heroes are about to heal two infected big radio men when a Skibidi mutant suddenly attacks. Then things get even weirder. A shadowy figure with creepy purple eyes is standing on a bridge watching everything. Even with all this chaos, the heroes manage to heal the two radio men. Then they take out the Skibidi mutant. Episode 38 starts with the heroes looking like they're winning. They have a healing tank and teams of cameramen and speakermen ready for battle. But then G-Man appears out of nowhere and just destroys everything in his path. Episodes 39 to 40, the TV Man debut. Episode 39 introduces a mysterious new character, the TV Man. He makes an amazing first impression by freezing every single Skibidi toilet at once just by looking at them. This completely changes the power balance. Even though the cameraman army gets wrecked in episode 41, Survivor doesn't give up. He's only armed with a plunger but he's ready to keep fighting. Just when things look hopeless, TV Man comes to help. And this episode also shows us that TV Man isn't the only one of his kind. There's a whole race of them out there. Episode 41 to 44, more TV Men and new threads. Episode 41 brings another character from the TV Man family. These new members seem strong in both size and sound. With such powerful allies, it looks like the cameramen are getting closer to winning. In episode 42, we see the Skibidi Toilets aren't just sitting around doing nothing while the TV men destroy them. Our character is watching from up high, but there is a threat sneaking up from behind. A Skibidi Hook Toilet tries to pull off our protective lens, but since our character actually takes off the lens himself, the Hook Toilet just punches him instead. By episode 43, the cameramen seem pretty relaxed, but they get surprised by Skibidi Toilets wearing glasses. The glasses aren't really a problem. But the real issue is that the TV man suddenly abandons them without warning, leaving the heroes in a bad spot. In episode 44, we see Cinema Man fighting a Skibidi Toilet octopus that looks a lot like Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man. He's smart about it. First, he breaks the protective glasses with a punch, then he takes out the octopus. Episodes 45 to 47, Titan fights. Titan episode 45 gives us a battle between two titans. Cinema Man shows off his awesome armor. When his blasters don't work, he just starts throwing toilets. The infected Titan Speakerman tries to stop Cinema Man but can't. Then TV Man Titan steals the speaker using his pitchfork, which makes the infected Titan run away scared. One interesting thing, Cinema Man doesn't use his red light power, and we find out why. The TV Man's power doesn't work on the speaker rays because they don't have eyes. That's a really important detail about how these different groups interact. In episode 46, the infected Titan is flying through the sky super fast. A new vacuum cleaner toilet also shows up, and even though it looks scary, Cinema Man doesn't seem bothered. Episode 47 has Cinema Man finally catching up to the infected Titan, but it's a trap. G-Man attacks Cinema Man from behind. Cinema Man's special ability saves him from G-Man, but then this flying toilet with hands comes at them. It catches Cinema Man off guard and cuts off the speakers he was using as armor. G-Man takes advantage of this and rips off Cinema Man's armor. The Skibidi Toilets are about to infect him, but Cinema Man teleports away just in time. Now, the infected Titan is the one running. G-Man spots our character and kills him quickly, but then something unexpected. The creator of the series himself shows up to save our character. This was a pretty crazy moment. Episodes 48 to 50, Sacrifice and the upgraded Titan in episode 48. We are back in the city. The cameramen keep fighting the toilets even though they're getting weaker. They refuse to give up. One cameraman is so good he takes on 5 toilets by himself. With Cinema Man defeated in the last episode, things are getting desperate. Even the large cameramen have to sacrifice themselves to stop the attack. These Skibidi Toilets are different colored now, probably because of some special metal that protects them from high heat. The cameramen are really struggling. Episode 49 shows G-Man wearing glasses now because he's figured out how dangerous the red light ability is. We see the first thumbs down in the series and a cameraman gets cut in half. We meet a new toilet scavenger and a new ally TV woman. She stops a chainsaw attack. Even though she's strong, she's facing an entire army, so she teleports our character to the hero base to keep him safe. Episode 50 is absolutely packed with stuff happening. The base is chaotic with cameramen messing around with strange devices. We see some cameramen lying on the floor looking really depressed, which is pretty dark out in the courtyard. People are running around panicking. Then something strange, a shadowy shape appears floating and flickering. It reminds us of episode 47. Could this be that mysterious secret agent showing up again? This adds more mystery to the story. While everyone else is scared, one cameraman stands there completely calm, holding 2 plungers. He's facing down giant Skibidi Toilets without any fear. Then a new type of Skibidi Toilet appears wearing a VR headset, something totally new. One of the good guys pulls out a freeze cannon, a weapon we haven't seen before. It works on a flying toilet instantly, which gives everyone some hope. But then a helicopter toilet shoots a rocket and destroys the cannon. Just when everything looks terrible, black smoke appears, the same kind Cinema Man uses to teleport, and out of this smoke comes an upgraded Titan cameraman. And this isn't just a small upgrade, he has a gravity gun, 2-hand cannons that fire explosive missiles, a jetpack and some kind of chamber with blue fire. He even has 3 heads now, which reminds us of the 3-headed Hydra toilet from episode 19. His new weapons work perfectly. Every giant toilet gets destroyed. The heroes come out of their base giving thumbs up to show their thanks, but one large cameraman does a thumbs down instead, suggesting there might be a traitor among them. Episode 51, Titan cameraman goes on a rampage. Episode 51 picks up right where 50 left off. The Titan cameraman flew off after his battle, and apparently he's going around destroying Skibidi Toilets. What's really interesting is that this whole episode is shown from the Titan's own point of view, which is the first time we've seen things from a Titan's perspective. The thing that really stands out here is that Skibidi Toilets are genuinely terrified of the Titan cameraman. You can see it in their faces. This hasn't happened with the other Titans. The upgraded Titan cameraman is on a completely different level. We also see the ninja cameraman in this episode. He's become really popular because he shows zero fear when fighting any kind of Skibidi Toilet. Even the new types, he just goes in without hesitation. Episode 52, Mini Titan and New Faces. Episode 52 is pretty mysterious. The ninja cameraman gets some kind of upgrade and people have started calling him a mini Titan. The theory is that he has some of the Titan cameraman's blue energy flowing through him, or maybe it's a special ray that can destroy Skibidi parasites. The idea is that in really dangerous situations he can activate this ray and take out parasites. The secret agent shows up again in this episode. We still don't know what his deal is. He keeps appearing on rooftops, watching important events but never actually joining in. The theory is that his purpose won't be revealed until much later. We also get introduced to another new female character, Camera Woman. She has a blue glow on her camera normally, but when she's attacked it switches to red and she gets this aimbot-like ability. It makes her incredibly accurate in fights, which is obviously really useful. Episode 53, Coming Together and New Dangers. Episode 53 is really epic. We get to see both the new Skibidi UFO and the new inventions the cameramen have come up with. The episode also shows that the cameramen are back to being a unified team again. They've also started using much better weapons instead of just fighting hand to hand. The updated glitch toilet, some people call it the Skibidi UFO, destroys one of the large speakermen. At this point, there's only one agent speakerman left in the whole series. This last speakerman might end up playing a really important role, kind of like the last Ronin of his people. There's this new type of Skibidi toilet that seems to teleport using its helmet. If the cameraman can figure out how to copy this technology, they'd be able to teleport too. Some people think it's not actually teleporting though, maybe it's just moving incredibly fast. If that's the case, the scientist cameramen need to invent some kind of slowing weapon to catch it. The cameramen are using tanks. Now there's a theory that this tank will be able to free the speakerman from his parasite, but it probably won't be that simple because the infected Titan speakerman has been gone for so long that he's probably getting upgraded by the Skibidi scientist too. There are a bunch of fan theories about where this is going. One says that when the Titan speakerman was first infected, he and G-Toilet went to the speakerman base and destroyed it. Another theory says the new fast toilet is just moving at high speed, not teleporting. A third theory suggests the Skibidi toilets want to wipe out all speakermen completely. A fourth one says that after the Titan speakerman gets freed, he'll be so angry he'll want revenge on G-Toilet immediately, but the Titan cameraman will stop him and they'll team up with the upgraded TV Titan to go after G-Toilet together. And one more theory says that when it looks like all the speakermen are gone, they'll suddenly show up upgraded and ready to help. Episode 54, TV Woman shows her power. Episode 54 starts with something pretty funny. There's this cameraman in a brown suit staring at a picture of TV Woman from episode 49. He's probably the same cameraman from that episode, and he's developed a crush on her because she saved him so many times and even hugged him while teleporting. Our current character waves his finger at him like stop simping. Soon after, a jetpack toilet attacks us and we pull out a new weapon. The colors on the gun are different from episode 53. Before it had a red glow, now it's blue. This probably means the guns have different settings for different types of shots. This new gun shoots a blue laser that freezes toilets in place. They can't move at all, but their eyes still work. They can see everything that's happening. We smack the stunned toilet and flush it. Then a spider toilet with a machine gun starts shooting at us, but it sounds like the bullets are hitting metal. This probably means the cameramen now have bulletproof suits, or at least some of them do. A large cameraman saves us by throwing his weapon and breaking the spider's gun, but then the glitch toilet returns. It kills 4 or 5 cameramen in seconds without anyone even seeing it. It's impossibly fast. Even when you slow down the video, you can barely spot it. TV Woman teleports in right after. Her head gets knocked off, but from episode 49, we know her head can detach and work on its own. She uses her purple beam to try to catch the glitch toilet. We learn that the purple beam can mind control a target and pull it toward her. In episode 49, she used this on the brown-suited cameraman, which might explain his crush. A blue dot hits the glitch toilet and freezes it completely. Even its eyes don't move this time. The plan is probably to capture it for study, not destroy it. If the scientist cameraman can figure out how it moves so fast, they could give that ability to the Alliance. After the fight, we meet a new scientist cameraman in a mech suit with 4 different weapons mounted on it. It looks incredibly powerful. The brown-suited cameraman tries to hug TV Woman, but she teleports away, leaving him sad. Episode 55, The Skull Toilet. Episode 55 opens with the plunger cameraman sitting on a pile of dead toilets that he killed himself. He looks like he's thinking deeply about something, maybe the war, or maybe he's just tired of all the fighting. He's become really important really fast, and that's probably exhausting. We are in some destroyed city that might be the same place from episode 47. If it is, that makes sense because they are trying to cure the infected Titan speakerman, and he was last seen heading toward the Skibidi headquarters, which would be near here. The secret agent is watching from a rooftop again. He seems really interested in the plunger cameraman specifically, maybe because the plunger cameraman is unique compared to other cameramen and the secret agent wants to know why. The brown-suited sim cameraman from episode 54 is also here, probably trying to impress TV Woman. The large cameramen have upgraded too. Now they're using 2 stun guns instead of stun batons. We see an upgraded version of the bathtub toilet from episode 41, now with 5 rocket launchers and jetpacks. But when the Titan cameraman shows up, their faces go from angry to terrified instantly. He destroys them quickly. The Titan cameraman seems angrier than usual in this episode. Something must have happened to make him this mad. Then a UFO-like toilet shows up, moving super fast like the glitch toilet. It starts destroying cameraman helicopters and the Titan goes to fight it. But this was a trick because something worse is coming. A new toilet appears that's basically a giant skull. The stun guns don't work on it at all. Why? Because it seems to be already dead. The theory is the Skibidi scientists figured out how to bring dead toilets back to life. This is a huge deal. If they can resurrect their dead, the Alliance would have to kill every toilet twice. The skull toilet pukes acid that melts the parasite disabler tank. The Titan cameraman destroys the skull toilet, but the damage is already done. The Skibidi toilets won this battle by destroying the disabler. Episode 56. The infected Titan returns. The brown-coated cameraman is back, beating up toilets aggressively, maybe because TV woman rejected him. We see TV men using melee weapons for the first time, pulling hidden blades from their wrists. Our character gets a notification that the disabler tank was destroyed. A TV man looks at us clearly disappointed and says, "You had one job before teleporting away." The TV men might be getting fed up and ready to take matters into their own hands. Then after all this time, the infected Titan speakerman returns and he's got tons of upgrades. His speakers now have red accents instead of white. His jetpack has armor plating. He has 2 blasters instead of 1. His weapons can charge up before firing and they have these claws that might control different firing modes. He starts killing cameramen with his upgraded speakers, literally using sound waves. The Titan cameraman is nearby and also furious. A fight between these two seems unavoidable at this point. Episode 57 Part 1. Finally, Titan vs Titan. The episode starts with cameraman hiding on a roof, looking really defeated. The infected Titan is still going crazy, killing everyone. They try using stun guns on him, but of course those don't work on Titans. Then the moment we've been waiting for, the two Titans face each other. The Titan cameraman waves his finger like no. We can see the secret agent on a nearby building with this green glow around him. Something important happens here. The Titan cameraman's armor covers up his core, since we know from episodes 50 and 51 that his core is one of his most powerful weapons. The fact that he covers it means it must be his weak spot. If it gets damaged, he could be in serious trouble. The infected Titan shoots at the Titan cameraman, but the Titan cameraman uses a metal plate as a shield and keeps getting closer. He knows if he gets in close, he'll win because he's better at hand-to-hand fighting. He lands an incredibly hard punch. The infected Titan tries to fly away and shoot from a distance, but the Titan cameraman uses his magnet hand from episode 50 to pull him back and slam him into a building. The Titan cameraman is clearly winning. There's a big power difference between them, but then G-Man shows up, now with 6 laser guns. He also has earphones to protect against the speaker attacks. He shoots the Titan cameraman and this might have actually hurt. The Titan cameraman rushes to fight G-Man instead. Then comes the saddest moment. The plunger cameraman jumps onto the infected Titan's neck, trying to remove the parasite, but the Titan grabs him, crushes his legs and throws him to the ground. We see the plunger cameraman burning without his lower body. It's absolutely brutal.
But wait, why did the plunger cameraman throw his plunger at the Titan before getting grabbed, unless the plunger has some kind of anti-parasite technology built into it? This could be important. Episode 57 Part 2, Getting the Cure. This part continues right where Part 1 ended, which is the first time an episode has done this. The Titan cameraman and G-Man are fighting hard. G-Man shoots at the Titan's core area. The Titan cameraman uses his core flames on G-Man, burning his face. Then he swings his hammer with full force, causing G-Man to explode. But G-Man isn't dead. He comes back later, badly damaged. The Titan cameraman sees the plunger cameraman on the ground looking dead. This makes him even angrier. He flies at the infected Titan at full speed, causing a massive impact.
His rage is actually helping him fight better. A blade strider from episode 47 appears and stabs the Titan cameraman, but with all his upgrades, it barely affects him. He pulls off the strider's mask and crushes its head. A parasite tries to land on the Titan cameraman's head, but he grabs it and kills it immediately. This suggests he might be completely parasite-proof now. While the Titan cameraman is distracted by the parasite, the infected Titan shoots him, but then TV woman teleports in and jumps on the infected Titan's neck, working to remove the parasite. The Titan cameraman holds the infected Titan's hand so he can't stop her. G-Man returns badly hurt, his face is burned and bloody. He's about to shoot the Titan cameraman from behind when camera woman appears and starts shooting at him from a roof. Other cameramen use their stun guns on him too. He sees the Titan speakerman is about to be cured, so he retreats with an angry face. TV woman saves the plunger cameraman but completely misses the same cameraman trapped under rubble. His body also cut in half. He gives up hope. This is legitimately one of the saddest scenes in the whole series. Finally, the Titan cameraman removes the parasite completely and stomps on it. The Titan speakerman's coat turns back to its original color. He looks confused, like he doesn't remember anything. Without any interaction, he just flies away, probably heading to the speakerman base. The Titan cameraman gives a thumbs up, finally back to his normal mood after all those episodes of being angry. The Skibidi Toilets have taken a huge loss. Unless they get some insane upgrades fast, they're going to keep losing. Episode 58, The Real Titan Speakerman. This episode shows us the Titan Speakerman at full power for the first time since he was cured. We're in London and the situation is bad. The Skibidi Toilets have taken over. There are weapons mounted on Big Ben and the sky is all polluted and green. There's a new Skibidi Toilet with tools all over it. It might be mind controlled like the flying buzzsaw toilet from episode 47. It seems to react to sounds, which makes sense if it can't see well and uses hearing instead. The Titan speakerman arrives and he's much faster than before. Being infected and controlled by someone else was probably slowing him down. Now he's at full power and absolutely destroying everything. We see the secret agent again with his green glow. The glow seems to be connected to whenever he teleports. There's a theory that this green glow actually makes him invisible to the cameraman and only we the viewers can see it. The Titan speakerman does this insane tornado laser attack that wipes out a whole fleet of helicopter toilets in seconds. Then he flies off to the next battle. The Titan cameraman shows up confused because all the toilets are already dead. He continues following the Titan speakerman. We see the secret agent again, but this time he's turning to leave and his green glow fades. Episode 59, the speakermen are back. We are on a battlefield where both sides are losing. The secret agent is hiding behind a car, this time without his green glow. This supports the theory that the glow is for invisibility. When he's out in the open, he uses it, but when he's already hidden, he doesn't need it. A new giant Skibidi toilet teleports in with black smoke just like the TV race does. This raises questions. Did they steal the TV man's teleportation technology, or is there someone on the inside helping them? The Titans arrive together. The Titan speakerman takes the lead and destroys the new toilet easily. A plain toilet with red eyes shows up, but the Titan speakerman takes it down too. Then the moment everyone has been waiting for, the speakermen return. They've been hiding this whole time, probably to stay safe from the infected Titan. Without their leader, they didn't know what to do. Now they're back and the Titans celebrate with a dab and fist bump. The Alliance has been on a winning streak. They took back New York, Dubai and London, but the Skibidi Toilets aren't going to just accept this. They have to be planning some major upgrades. Episode 60, the Skibidi Power Struggle. This episode is absolutely packed with story and lore. Two cameramen are spying on what looks like an airport. The UFO toilet from earlier episodes flies up to G-Man and seems to be threatening him. G-Man actually looks scared. He rolls his eyes and leans away like he's trying to avoid the conversation. Whatever the UFO toilet says to him makes him look sad and frightened. This is the first time we've seen them communicate this clearly with actual emotions and intentions. Something is different about the UFO toilet too. The blue glows on its helmet from episode 53 are gone. Maybe it's no longer being mind controlled and has its own free will now. Then things escalate. A flying toilet puts some kind of device on G-Man's head to hold him in place. Another toilet gets ready to drill into G-Man's head. But just before it happens, the scientist toilet returns and slashes the attacker. The scientist toilet has changed a lot. He's now Titan-sized. He has a mechanical eye. He's wearing parts of Cinema Man's speaker armor, which he apparently stole. At this point, he's probably the most powerful Skibidi toilet. The attacking toilets flee. G-Man looks incredibly relieved and happy. He says something to the scientist, and then the scientist notices the spying cameraman on the roof. He charges up his lasers and destroys them. Then something really surprising happens. The camera zooms out and we see a large TV man was streaming the POV footage to the Alliance members in London. This explains how the TV men always show up at exactly the right moment. They can watch through any cameraman's eyes. So we've learned a lot. There's internal conflict among the Skibidi toilets. Some of them are unhappy with G-Man's leadership and want to replace him. If the scientists hadn't saved him, they might have succeeded. The Alliance now knows about this conflict and can use it to their advantage. Episode 61, Speaker Woman arrives. This episode is more fun and less serious. two damaged cameramen try to escape from a Skibidi car. The secret agent is watching from a hiding spot. Then this ridiculous toilet shows up. It's actually based on the YouTuber moistr1tkal who made a video about Skibidi Toilet. This toilet uses flashbang lights to blind cameramen and kills several of them. Right when it's about to kill our character, Speaker Woman appears. She comes in dancing, completely unbothered by the situation. The moist toilet flashes her, but she just claps sarcastically. It fires a rocket at her and she deflects it using her speaker powers. That's the first time we've seen anyone deflect a rocket in this series. She pulls out two knives, puts them in her speaker head and uses sound to shoot them at insane speed right into the moist toilet's eyes. Then she uses her speaker to boost herself into a front flip onto the toilet and flushes it. As she walks away, it explodes behind her without her even looking. The speaker men are back to their normal selves, Fortnite dancing as usual. This was a nice break from all the heavy story stuff. Episode 62. The Skibidi Strike Back engineer cameramen are fixing up a fallen comrade. The alliance has gotten way too relaxed after all their wins. There's a cameraman drinking soda, another playing catch with a toilet, and others just hanging out. Discomfort costs them, black smoke appears, and the scientist toilet arrives using the stolen speaker armor to attack everyone with sound waves. Our character finds headphones mysteriously on the ground, and if you look closely, you can see feet behind them. It's the secret agent, actively helping for the first time. G-Man flies through, destroying the city with his lasers. His eyes look strange, like something's wrong with them. Maybe he's preparing for some kind of eye surgery or upgrade. A plane with nukes appears. The mutant Skibidi Toilet returns with a new friend, another mutant with a buzzsaw arm and a cameraman's body. The attack was clearly well planned. This is the end of the Alliance's winning streak and the start of the Skibidi counterattack. Episode 63, the plunger cameraman returns. We're in a battle using a rocket turret against attacking toilets. A samurai Skibidi Toilet appears and starts beheading cameramen with incredible speed. Just as it's about to get us, it gets stunned. A new character saves us, the Red Assassin Speakerman or Dark Speakerman. He carries two knives and flies using jetpacks. He kills the samurai toilet efficiently and looks at us with a disappointed face, shaking his head when we ask for help getting up. The mutant toilet returns, now with jetpacks. It smashes a military vehicle easily. But then something incredible happens, attacks at extreme speed, plungers appearing on the mutant's face. The plunger cameraman is back. He's using the glitch toilet as a mech suit, controlling it with his hands on two gauntlet-like controllers. The mech has blade arms for stabbing at high speed and a new plunger system. He gets out of the mech, walking on new legs. They rebuilt him after he lost his lower body in episode 57. The secret agent watches from the background, clearly interested in the plunger cameraman's return. The Titans arrive with a fleet. The episode description says it's about to go down, teasing the huge battle coming episode 64. We finally see the secret agent, the vacuum toilet returns, now upgraded. The Titans arrive and the Titan cameraman shows a new ability, an energy shield he probably requested after using a roof piece as a shield in episode 57. A trap is revealed, signs on billboards say trap. This has happened before. The secret agent can apparently control science or reality in some way. G-Man shows up but runs away smiling weirdly. He probably has upgrades coming. A bomber toilet explodes but the Titan cameraman tanks the explosion to protect everyone. Then the Titan speakerman points at a billboard showing the secret agent on all the screens. He looks unhappy and immediately leaves. We finally see the secret agent up close. He looks directly at the camera for the first time since episode 47, then he teleports away. The theory is he's been helping the Alliance, but the Titans seem uncomfortable around him. Episode 65, G-Man gets betrayed. This episode is massive. The Skibidi toilets have set up an elaborate trap. The scientist has planned everything. Small toilets serve as bait and G-Man is left alone as the trap springs. G-Man realizes he's been betrayed by his own side. The two Titans fight G-Man together. His laser eyes work again for the first time since episode 47. They break his armor, his jetpack, everything, but he keeps fighting. The Titan cameraman uses his core flames on him. Then we learn something huge. G-Man was just a puppet being controlled by another Skibidi the whole time. He's half robot, half organic. When they try to flush him, it doesn't work like it does on regular toilets. His body is made of skin and muscle like a real Skibidi, but he's controlled from inside. There have been multiple versions of G-Man throughout the series. Each one was an upgraded shell. The scientists wanted to get rid of this version so he could become the sole leader. The trap ends with acid and gas barrels destroying everything. The Titans survive but are badly damaged. The Titan cameraman's arm is destroyed. His core is sparking. His main camera is cracked. He gives a thumbs up for surviving, then turns it down when he realizes how badly he's hurt. The Alliance is in serious trouble. Episode 66, attacking the base. The Alliance has found the Skibidi base and they're going all in. Everyone is here, heavily armed cameramen with grenade launchers and hypnoguns, helicopters. Everything a tablet shows a message. The Titans have been captured. There's a photo of G-Man and the scientists with the defeated Titans. The Titan cameraman's core is sparking like he might be infected. All the main characters are fighting. Speaker Woman and Black Speaker fight together. TV Woman uses her parasite ability. Camera Woman gives a thumbs up while fighting. The three female characters appear together for the first time. The plunger cameraman saves us from a Strider toilet. The base is captured, but then the Skibidi army returns. A big TV man teleports a container to evacuate everyone. The mutant toilet attacks, cutting off a cameraman's camera. They all get teleported to the TV man's base. We see Cinema Man is being repaired. A TV man scientist has a picture of TV Woman on his name tag. There's competition for her attention now, episode 67 to 68. Secret Agent's plan. New scenes show the secret agent giving a remote control to a cameraman in a red shirt. This cameraman is number 1055, later called Lucky Cameraman. The secret agent says, "You know what to do," and teleports him somewhere. Inside the Skibidi laboratory, we see the scientists working with tiny toilets near computers. They are about the same size as Skibidi parasites. The agents navigate through the facility using a tablet. The episode also shows more about the Titans being captured. Titan TV Man fights multiple G-Man clones, confirming there are many copies of G-Man. Episode 69-71, secret scenes revealed. The UFO toilet reports to a giant Astro toilet leader. The UFO was spying during the battle between Titan TV Man and the G-Man clones. They talk in their own language because they know Alliance spies are watching. Lucky Cameraman returns from near death, contacted by the secret agent. He's told to get back and stick to the plan. "I'm sure you will convince them." He lies back in his original position and gets found by other agents. He's working as a double agent. The Titans observe the destruction from G-Man's attack. The Titan cameraman crushes a small toilet in anger. Titan TV Man says something about vengeance before teleporting away. Episode 72 to 74, G-Man's real history. G-Man is connected to the Astro Toilets, a much more powerful group that's now invading. Titan TV Man fights the Astro Juggernaut, a massive new threat. The Alliance struggles against this new enemy. Detective Cameraman investigates Lucky Cameraman. By reviewing the plunger cameraman's memories, he realizes Lucky was seen dying but then mysteriously reappeared alive. The secret agent's manipulation. The Titan cameraman sacrifices himself to save others. His signal goes offline and everyone thinks he's dead. The Titan speakerman breaks down crying. Titan TV Man tells him to get upgrades instead of crying, meaning the Titan speakerman is about to get powered up. TV Man scientist wants to team up with G-Man against the Astro Toilets. G-Man was once part of the Astro faction but left. Episode 75 to 77. Strange new partnerships. The Astro invasion destroys everything. Cameramen are forced to work with Skibidi Toilets against the common enemy. A female Skibidi mutant helps the Alliance. She turns out to be the sister of a blonde human survivor found earlier. We get flashbacks of Camera Woman and Plunger Cameraman as humans named Kathy and Dave. They worked together before everything changed. Dave used a crowbar even back then, which explains his plunger weapon later. An infected human tries to make peace between Toilets and the Alliance. They form an uneasy truce against the Astro threat. Lucky Cameraman gets interrogated. His memories show the secret agent giving him a master key device that opens any door and accesses any computer. The secret agent says, "The Skibidi leaders are hiding inside my facility. They stole our technologies." At the end, a dying cameraman is approached by a woman with green jewelry and glowing green eyes, the secret agent's signature color. She puts a chip in his head that shows Alpha Hills OS installed and says, "Welcome to the family." This is how the secret agent recruits people. The Titan TV Man gets infected by the Astro Toilets and turned against his own side. Part 11, The Speaker Army Rises, episode 78. The Hunter appears. A terrifying new enemy called the Hunter works for the Astro Toilets. He attacks a base with Alliance agents and Skibidi allies. He's incredibly durable, nothing seems to hurt him. Astro Duchess, a giant female Astro, eats human survivors. She's completely evil, the TV men's dark space. When TV men teleport, they pass through a dark dimension. One TV man named Jeffrey stayed there too long and went insane. We see through the eyes of a Skibidi mutant during teleportation. Witnessing his past, he was once a human who the Skibidi scientists experimented on and turned into a mutant. The Speakerman's new power. The episode ends with the upgraded Speakerman armada saving everyone. They have better armor, powerful swords, distance weapons, and enhanced mobility. A mini Titan Speakerman has a scythe that can gather energy and return like a boomerang. Speaker Woman returns looking even better with cross-shaped weapons. A giant flying speaker weapon crushes enemies with sound waves. The mini Titan declares no more hiding and a red beam shoots into the sky. The Alliance is back in the fight.
Now let's talk about the last published episode, which is episode 79. In this episode, the aliens struggles to defend their base after one Astro Toilet sneaked into it. Suddenly, Watchmen of Doom appeared, destroying the defense one by one. The most interesting thing in the whole 79 episode is we see a glimpse of Titan Speakerman at the end, which indicates he will return at episode 80 with lots of upgrades. Since official Skibidi Toilet channel is not releasing episode 80 since a long time, and lots of other fan-made creators made fictional episode 80. For example, here's what Titan Speakerman 3.0 might look like in episode 80. What do you guys think? Is he going to get an Astro upgrade or he'll have something more superior? Let me know in the comment section. So that was it. It's been a long episode. It took me nearly a month to create this video. I would really appreciate if you guys leave a like and comment if I forgot to add something. I'll pin the most valuable comment. I'm TZ. I make juicy gaming and Skibidi Toilet videos for you guys. I'm signing off today. We'll be back with another banger soon, and until then, stay goofy and keep doing Skibidi dob. Yes. Skibidi www. Yes.